Hi, Victoria here, Director of HBA Encompass, the Bookkeeper Hub and author of Zest for Success. Still working through the chapters of Zest for Success and having a chat about the way that we have built the Bookkeeper Hub using the Zest for Success method and things that you need to think about in your business as well. So today we're going to have a bit of a chat about insurances. Now, we've all heard about life insurance and perhaps even sickness and accident insurance or health insurances. But when you run a business, there's different types of insurances that you need to have a think about. Now, the first one is public liability insurance. Now, public liability covers you if you have a physical premises. So, for instance, if I had an office and you came in and I had something on the floor and you tripped over and broke your leg, you would be able to sue me for loss of income or injuries or whatever it was. If I have public liability insurance, it covers that liability. So essential if you have a place of premises, and that is also needs to cover employees and the general public. It doesn't solve negligence. If you've got stuff lying around, as I said, and I've tripped over it, that's a different kettle of fish. But just general public liability is vital if you have a bricks and store premises somewhere. If you are a professional person, then you need to have professional indemnity insurance, and that is the insurance that covers you if you make a mistake. I know that sounds very harsh, but for me as an accountant, if I gave some advice on tax that was detrimentally wrong and someone ended up getting a $100,000 bill from the tax office, then they would be right within their rights to come back and try and get some money from me to pay for that. So a lot of professions, professional indemnity insurance is actually compulsory. I know it is in the accounting and the bookkeeping industry. Doctors have medical, defence, engineers, surveyors, town planners, I'm assuming dentists, all those kind of professions definitely have professional indemnity insurance, and that's something you don't want to scrimp on. There are other kinds of insurances that you need to have a think about as well. So I'm going to have a quick chat now about one of the ones that's essential if you have stock. There's an insurance that you can take out that covers your stock while you're in premises, which is fairly standard, but stock in transit is very important as well. And to give you a little story about that, I was at Fraser Island over the holidays and I met a lady who comes from northern New South Wales. And she was telling us how when the floods came down late last year that they got absolutely hammered and their whole town, which had never flooded, had flooded. And the transport company had been acting as a bit of a storage for some of the local hotels, that they'd buy their beer and their supplies in bulk. The transport company would bring it down and put it in their storeroom and then drip feed it out to them as they needed it. So they were just acting as a warehousing facility. But they weren't insuring the stock because they were under the impression that the stock that the hotels had bought was in transit insurance. What happened is the flood came through and all these boxes of grog got wet. The contents were still in some cases okay, but they couldn't move them, couldn't transport them, and they got written off. What happened was any stock that was on the tray of a truck at the time and got flooded was covered by transit insurance, but anything that was on the floor of the warehouse wasn't. So I took that to be a pretty hard learning curve, and if you've got stock that you are transiting, make sure that you really read the terms and conditions and make sure it covers the way that you're running your business. So that's Insurance 101. I've got a few more insurances to talk about tomorrow. But for now, my go-to for you to do for today is to review whether you need public liability insurance, professional indemnity insurance, or transit insurance. I'll see you on the other side.